Okay. We had some executive sessions on 5/27 from 4 to 5:30 regarding litigation matter. And 6/3 from 9:37 AM to 10:07 AM regarding police personnel matters. And one on 6/3 as well that evening from 6 to 7:13 regarding litigation matters as well. Okay, citizens to be heard. First, we have Ms. Carter.
So I have some handouts.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't have enough for. Would you like one share?
I'll share. I'll share.
You should share. Okay, that's for.
Yeah, one done.
Thank you. You guys, is anybody else like one?
I'll put your-
Yeah. Anybody else didn't? Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah, I do. I apologize, I don't have it digitally, I don't know.
Yeah, Robert.
Okay.
Yeah.
My name is Candace Codman, I'm a local resident, not here in Williamsburg, but in Mainville. I'm a disabled veteran, I'm also a caregiver for my sister, and I am going to be I am the founder of Local Lore. If you don't mind, I'm a little nervous, so I'm gonna read from my notes so I get everything. So, I love this community, and I wanted to create a way for both residents and visitors to better discover everything that makes Williamsburg special. Tonight, I'd like to briefly introduce the concept and explore ways the town and Local Lore might work together. So on slide, first I'm gonna go through the slides, so if you could just follow along. Local Lore is a digital tourism and community discovery app designed to showcase the stories, businesses, events, and experiences that make Williamsburg unique. Think of it as a modern community guide that helps people discover what's nearby and encourages them to explore more of our town. Why Williamsburg? So Williamsburg already has everything visitors are looking for. Historic downtown, parks and trails, great local businesses, community events, rich local history, Williamsburg Fair, Williamsburg University, and so on and so forth. The challenge isn't that these things don't exist. The challenge is helping people find them, experience them, and learn the stories behind them. The problem right now with that is information is scattered. Visitors have to search Facebook, Google, tourism websites, business pages, and event flyers. And I know in my personal experience, I go to Facebook a lot, but usually the event is already passed when you get the notification, and it's so frustrating. So many never discover everything Williamsburg has to offer. That means people have shorter visits, they spend less, and there's missed opportunities for local businesses. The solution is the Local Lore app as the community guide, as one community guide. And I'm hoping that I can give this to everybody coming to Williamsburg and everybody that already lives here. Visitors can follow GPS guided tours, discover local history, find businesses and attractions, explore with family activities, and see community events. Everything is available in one place. What people will experience. The first version will focus on experience. Downtown walking tours, the GPS guided experience, like I said, interactive maps, family activity guides, and seasonal experiences. Like I said, the Williamsburg Fair. The goal is to get people exploring Williamsburg rather than simply just driving right through it. So, of course, we want to talk about the economic impact. The more visitors discover, the more we hope they spend. Local businesses will gain visibility, events receive additional promotion, restaurants, shops, attractions, and service businesses will all benefit from the increased exposure. And of course, how will it benefit our town? This project will help promote tourism, support downtown revitalization, highlight local history, which I don't even know that much about Williamsburg. My daughter's been looking up a lot and it's been very interesting. Encourage exploration, create a modern visitor experience, and showcase our community pride. My long-term vision is Williamsburg comes first. I live here. I love Williamsburg. Don't ever want to leave. So my focus is building something successful here before considering expansion into the neighboring communities. If successful, Bloomsburg becomes the model community for future growth. So what I need and why I'm here tonight is tonight I'm not asking for funding. I'm asking for partnership, collaboration, feedback, and community input. Specifically, historical resources, tourism contacts, community knowledge, business participation, and guidance as the project grows. I want local lore to be built with community, not just about community. To make the project sustainable, local lore will seek founding sponsors from the businesses in the community. These sponsorships will help support development, content creation, and long-term growth while promoting local businesses through the platform. In closing, Bloomsburg has incredible stories, businesses, events, and experiences. Local lore is simply a new way to help people discover them. Though this project is still in development, I believe it has potential to become a valuable resource for residents, visitors, and local businesses alike. Thank you.
Yeah,
For your time and
Nice.
I would be happy to answer the questions if anybody has any.
So this is a pre-done platform, right? You're looking to do it just for Bloomsburg.
Bloomsburg initially, yes.
Okay.
But then I would like to try to expand Berwick, Danville. You know.
But like
a little
local
bit.
lore is an app that now you
Local-
didn't develop, you're just looking to do it for Bloomsburg.
So I'm working with a developer currently, a local person, his name is Sam Meskey, he owns a business here, and, well, he lives in Danville, but he's in the area. He's a graduate of the university, I'm working with him, local lore is gonna be like the hub for communities. But Bloomsburg is gonna be like the pilot experience,
So this is your app, right?
yes.
Oh,
this is
okay.
My app,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Oh,
went to
very
a
cool,
developer
very
to,
cool.
yes,
Okay.
I am creating the app.
Can you tell us a little bit what inspired this?
So I traveled with Bloomsburg Marching Band to Pearl Harbor in December. And when we got there, I was looking with my family of things to do because I wasn't with the band the entire time. We traveled on our own and decided, hey, we're going to Hawaii too to see the parade. So while we were there, as we were looking at local tours and stuff, they have an app, and I found out it's in many different places all over the US, but it's called Shaka Guide. So what this app does is you download the app, you click on it, and it has you purchase tours. You can purchase all the tours for a set amount, or you could purchase individual tours in the area. And what this did is I purchased the island of Oahu, and it took us on a 6.5 hour tour. It was a 6.5 hour tour of the entire island. It took you all the way up and around. But during this, it had you stop at local places, told you about all the history, had you stop at so many different places along the way, and actually guided you in just telling you what everything area was about, and it was very interesting, and it is GPS guided, so I want to base local lore off of that, but that is more like, so that was Oahu, and Shaka Guide pretty much deals with state parks, because they do, I think, like 3 here in Pennsylvania. There is no local tourism app, which pretty much inspired me to
Cool.
develop one. So though Bloomsburg is gonna be my starting point, I do plan in the future. As long as, Bloomsburg's gonna be my first creation to expand further. Because we have great places like Ricketts Glen, things in Berwick that people don't even. And even in Danville that, I feel people miss opportunities. I know I get on Facebook, on the Bloomsburg Even bulletin page. People are always asking what there is to do with their kids, where they can go, what sites they can see. So it's not just gonna be driving tours, it's gonna be walking tours of downtown Bloomsburg. Letting you know about the fountain and the memorials and the buildings and things like that.
I saw one the other day where somebody was asking where to go sleigh riding already. Like, yeah, crazy.
Yeah.
Just got more.
I know.
That's very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Great.
Is this been your first stop?
Yes.
Okay.
So here's my first stop. I mean, I told people about it. I shared, you know, what
Well,
I.
because like the business group would have money to, you know, help you out, the commissioners probably had some heads, stuff they might be able to help you out.
I do plan on going around. I wanted this to make my first stop because I'm starting in Phillipsburg, and I feel the town committee, I would need the local support, the paid support to expand further, just so I can get the history and I can, you know, basically, this is my starting point, I guess.
Cool.
Maybe the Genealogical Society might have some good historical facts. Jim, I'm trying to remember Jim's last name. Okay. He knows so much about Bloomsburg.
Well, and there's already a walking tour pamphlet too, that you could probably start there and start, you know. work
Yes,
from
and
that.
I did personally already know about that. I don't think I've actually done it. It is because it's quite a few, it's even houses.
Yeah,
So I would like to include that. That would be nice to include that and just give the audio description as people are walking along, just in. Really, any other questions?
Great idea. And we hope we can hide idea.
next step, when I was in Germany, there was a place that they were doing VR tours. And
Okay.
you could like walk around classes and it actually showed you what the buildings used to look like in real time. That was really cool.
That's
So you
cool.
have to have
Yeah.
somebody holding you, I would run into.
I mean,
Well, then they have to.
I guess it's an up and down thing, I didn't do it.
VRs now where you can actually see through.
Oh,
them.
okay.
Okay.
And still, you know, see what's going on, as awkward as it is. Yeah.
Well, good for you,
Thank
best
you.
of luck, yeah,
Thank you very much.
okay. Others in the back, ma'am,
Yes, about the fire hydrants on the west end of town.
yes,
I'd like to discuss that. Is that now or is it the end of the year?
well, now the citizens be heard.
Okay. Fire hydrants, how many are there in the town of Bloomsburg, roughly?
177
Thank you.
precisely,
How many are working?
171, well, no, wait, 176.
Yeah, there's 170, 176 will have water come out of them. There are 5 hydrants that are yellow that still have water coming out. One that is broken between the valve in the street and the hydrant itself, which is the one at Leonard and West Main. And then we have an out of service hydrant at Park and Route 11.
There's another
What
one
about
down there.
the one on the alley?
That's Mary Avenue, that's
Mary
yellow.
Avenue.
That water,
What's yellow?
water will come out of it, but it's not
Not for
suitable for
fire.
firefighting.
No.
So-
That's 2 within a block
Mhm.
of the fire that we've had.
Mhm.
2 fires, and they've been, the one there on Main Street, that's been covered since winter.
Yeah, late winter, yes, yep, because it froze, probably broke during a freeze.
So, you know, all that water had to be hauled in for that fire.
No, that's not accurate.
We sat and
I
watched the
watched
truck
them.
come in.
Did you notice all the other hose that was laid out in the street?
Yeah, the one right by my house.
So we did have hydrants that we hooked up. We used 1.4 million gallons of water out of the town's hydrants before we decided to switch operations and combine that with what we were taking out of the river.
Yeah,
We did not have a shortage of water. That a misconception, wherever that came from, we did not have a shortage of water because the Barton Street hydrant was an amazing hydrant. The one at Leonard and First Street was an amazing hydrant. The one that we had back on Third Street was an amazing hydrant. So just because the 2 that were yellow that were right out in front and apparent were yellow, that did not alter that fire at all. I used over 2 million gallons of water on that fire. It didn't make a difference.
And there's 2 yellow ones you said down at that end,
There are 2, yeah.
Within a block.
within one block that are not accessible for fires.
They're not, according to the Public Utility Commission, they're not suitable for fire flow, correct?
And what's the reasoning that they cannot be suitable?
That's up to, you know, Veolia to fix them, if they don't have a main project or if they don't have something there. I think this probably was brought to their attention when they applied for the rate hike. And the Public Utility Commission went through and flowed the hydrants to get the flow data.
Mhm.
And then when they realized that the flow data wasn't good, they made them identify them so that at least we didn't hook up to them.
Right.
I do know that as soon as they were painted yellow, we knew about them, and I had a conversation with Tate out at Veolia about, making that a project focus,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, every time we see a hydrant or we experience a hydrant that is, when I say lackluster, say it's older, you know, how do I wanna say this? Generations of fire hydrants, as technology increases, the hydrants themselves have increased. You'll see a lot of them have quick connects on the front steamer portion, which is the bigger outlet, and the sides are still threaded, okay? The sides that are threaded back in, when we were in 4 stations, were what was called Bloomsburg thread. It was a specific thread for Bloomsburg, okay? So we had to carry adapters on the trucks, we didn't, other departments did. Through a generation coming up, they went to a national standard thread. So as we've been upgrading hydrants as we go. Every time that there's a project, new hydrants get put in the ground. Just to give you an example, there were 2 identified last year that I requested for them to change because they were old. If anybody ever wondered, there was a hydrant at the town pool. It was actually turned and it was facing the pool. They used to use that to fill the pool,
yeah.
right? So that's actually on a pretty decent line. We actually asked them, can you replace the hydrant, turn it the other direction? And they did that with Harriet Street. They probably put in the last 5 years, I'm gonna go out on a limb, they probably put close to $80,000 worth of hydrants in the ground when we've asked them to. But I can't tell them that they've got to go through and rip every hydrant up that needs to be fixed. Because I'm gonna tell you, it's like driving a car. Cars are brand new when you take them off the lot. Then they start to nickel and dime you a little bit. I will tell you that the hydrants that are in town that may be yellow, I personally am not concerned. I'm concerned they need to be replaced. But I also have a thought process of I've got a hydrant within 1 block because we're set up as a municipal code. Municipal code says you have to have hydrants within certain distances from one another,
Right.
for this specific purpose. Okay, so if one doesn't work, I can do the next one, right? My problem is I don't have the data of what those hydrants will do. When I say not the yellow one, the ones that are on
The
either
other
side,
Do they
right?
test, I mean, all of
We
them?
do not,
No, you don't.
we have nothing to do with this. We pay $60,000 a year out of the town's fire funds, okay? All of you, when you pay your fire tax, part of that money goes to pay for our hydrant rental, okay? We are not the owners, we do not do any maintenance, we do nothing. So basically, this is like paying for a Lamborghini and setting it in the garage.
What's the percentage, or don't you,
Percentage of what?
what they pay, comes out of people's money?
It's it comes out of your fire millage, whatever your fire millage is. So, I won't jump down that rabbit hole, but if you go back to our budget season, okay? I was one of the first people in the town on this side of the fence to ask for an increase. Because our hydrant rental went from $42,000 to $60,000 a year. That's $60,000 a year,
Yeah,
that's a lot of equipment that I can put my guy and gals.
yeah,
Okay, and we have to pay, because that's the way that the law is set up. They own the hydrant, they have the right to charge us rent for those hydrants. If they didn't charge us rent for the hydrants, then we would have to pay every gallon that we use out of hydrants, and then we'd have to try and calculate that and figure that out. And if we could go 5 years, 6 years and not have a bad,
bad fire, yeah.
right? But in an instance like we just had at the West End with 2,
Yeah,
we would have killed our budget for probably 2 or 3 years.
can't you guys make them?
I can't force them to do anything.
Okay,
We cannot force them. The Public Utility Commission is the only ones that can force them to do anything. Okay, because they're literally supposed to be governed by the American Water Works Association, AWWA, and they're also supposed to follow the NFPA, which means that they're supposed to color code their hydrants,
okay,
and they don't do that. They don't even provide us the data of what the flow rates are for the hydrants. So, you wanna talk about a little bit of espionage? Our firefighters are constantly looking at projects and what's going in the ground. That's how we pick up
Yeah.
what lines are good and what lines are
well,
not.
that's not fair then to you guys, because you can,
This is like going to a gun battle with a knife. I know sometimes we just don't know what to do. And trust me, we know what we're doing.
I talked to Linda Schlegel-Culver's office today, senators. And I told them about the incident that had happened here about the hydrants are not working. They said they were gonna look into it a little bit more, but now that I know this information, I'm gonna call her again. And let them know that these are the people that are responsible.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
That
We are,
they are not fixing it.
no,
It's
we
not
are
the town
paying the
of Williamsburg,
bills.
it's them.
Well, hold on, let's be really clear too, like, at this point about the code. We have adequate hydrants as needed throughout the specific neighborhoods, like those yellow ones that are, marked as not sufficient flow. Are on really older lines because there has not been development down those roads, or there hasn't been some reason to replace that line. Whereas, at one point in time, all the lines in town were much smaller because water was just
That's
used
it.
differently. So now we have so much larger ones and things like that. But even if every hydrant down on the west end was the same as the Barton Street one, they're not gonna hook up to all of them around there because you'd be pulling all the water from one place at one.
Yeah, I
time.
get that, yeah, I
You know, so-
understand that.
There's a strategy to it as well.
Yeah, I've dealt with fire companies
Oh, okay.
before, so
Yeah.
I know how, yeah, I have a pretty good idea how that
And they-
stuff works.
They have done, our local office, I will give a shout out to our local office, when we try, they do everything that they can do within their ability to help us. I'm constantly, I think I went back and looked between text message, email, phone calls. I've had since the beginning of the year, probably 25 or 30 conversations with the water company about how we operate, what can we do, what are we doing, you
You
know?
guys should at least have the flow, so that way you know
I
what
don't-
is coming
I
out
don't
of them.
disagree, I don't disagree, well, 110%, I don't disagree that we should have that data, because that to me is the difference between a 500 gallon a minute hydrant.
Yep.
And a 1,500 gallon a minute hydrant. So there are, and if you look at them on the surface, they both look identical.
Yeah,
Now,
So to that point though, too, when I talked to Kate the other day about this, one of the interesting things is that the pressure fluctuates throughout the day.
right,
If Milco's filling up their dye vats,
Yeah.
if, Autoneum's pulling or whatever, so it is a
it
consistent
shoots
thing
it,
all the
yeah,
time.
depends on the time of day.
Yeah, and what all is happening around town, it's a pretty
Right.
interesting system.
we're a gravity fed system.
Mhm.
They would be much more apt to try and give us flow rates and flow data if they had a pressurized system. But they couldn't pressurize our system right now because they would probably rupture the older portions of towns. So you've got a gravity fed system, and the only thing that continually keeps pressure in the system is head pressure in the reservoir. Now, in the recent past, they've actually changed the amount of flow that they can take from the creek, filter, treat, and put in the reservoir. They can do that at 2,800 gallons a minute. And they were maxing out the night of the fire.
Mm.
I called Tate and I said, we are hitting the town reservoir very hard. I said, and he said, yeah, he said, you are dropping at 50%. And I said, okay, he said, I'm pushing 2,800 gallon a minute back into the reservoir. And I'm like, okay, we've got to do something different, because if we don't, then I'm going to I'll kill everybody out in the west end of town.
Yeah.
I would have killed your water quality, I would have probably done other detrimental damage
Bacteria,
had I
yeah.
continued to do that.
Now, I know some of the still water's taken out of the, fountain too.
No, it was not. There's a hydrant in front of the fountain that is colored green because they asked us if they could do that aesthetically. We said yes. That
Okay.
hydrant comes off of a main that is probably anywhere between 12 and 14 inches. So we were filling off of a hydrant, not fountain.
Okay,
We couldn't, there's no way that we could do
yeah, I
that.
didn't think you could, but I
No.
wasn't sure.
No, and to me, the west end of town, there's a 16-inch line that goes down Ridge Avenue to First Street, and then at First Street, it goes 16 inches down towards Lee, Autoneum.
Right.
They have recently, probably within the last 10 years, started to tap off of that line to give us better water. There's an 8-inch line that goes down Third Street. There's probably a 10-inch or an 8-inch line that goes down West First Street, Leonard. But the amount of stuff that we have, the knowledge that we have, we don't just come out and purge it and tell you, hey, listen, this is what we have. But when you have an incident where you've got two hydrants that are in close proximity, the one hydrant is a big barrel, what we call Big Barrel May West, the one at Marion. Okay,
Okay,
that one, I wouldn't even have chose that if it was red, because it's a 2.5-inch line that comes off of it. Our pumps are 1,500 to 2,000
what
gallon.
about the lines?
I would have stuck the line flat.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have picked that one anyhow. I will tell you the one thing that we did ask Tate to do was if they're going to be, until they can get them fixed, we asked them to buy bags that are quote unquote made for putting over the hydrant, listing them as out of service. That way there is no public perception that hydrant's even gonna do anything good.
The one you said down there in Leonard and Maine, that one needs to be
That-
completely dug
that's
up and
broke.
redone.
That's broke. Their plan is to take that out of the ground so that it's not even there, and then as soon as they get a project for a line replacement. Go back.
We'll put the hydrant back in.
And I would almost guarantee that they would probably hit the 16-inch line at Unita Pizza. And probably take it down Main Street, maybe to Mary. Honestly, if they go a little further than Mary, I don't think they would, because the one at Barton Street is really a good hydrant. I mean, we didn't even throttle the 598 West Main Street fire, we didn't even throttle the pump up. We were basically using that as a manifold, but that's how much pressure we had. We had 120 pounds of pressure coming out of it. So. We had adequate water.
Yeah,
That fire just was,
bad.
it did not, there was a lot of intricacies to that building. That just did not allow us to fight that fire the way that we wanted to.
Because that's where I lived. And you could smell it in your apartment, there was a real bad odor. And I'm like, what the hell is it smelling? I figured somebody was cooking something, right? Because sometimes they'll smell very good. So I went out, and something told me, go out your back door, open the back door up. I'm like, ah. So, sometimes you hear it anyway. So I go out, I opened up the back door, and it was worse than the back door. I went back in, grabbed my pocketbook. The time I went in and came out, the smoke was already coming in the hallway. It came in that fast. And I mean, it was smoky and it was bad.
Yep, I don't disagree.
Well, we're glad you got out all right.
Thank
Yeah,
God.
we all
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody that was in the building, everybody got out with whatever you had on.
yeah,
That was it, because everything else was up in smoke in no time.
yeah.
But I'll tell you, I give a lot of credit and a lot of pride to you fire guys, all of you. Every company that came, they all did a really good job of trying to get it out. Instead, you all ought to be very proud of that.
I am, and just to give you guys, I do plan on putting an editorial in, penning it correctly to make it so that it has some impact. But we had, between fire, police, and EMS, we had 257
Wow.
personnel there.
That's,
Yeah.
We had a total of 53 apparatus, 47 of them were fire trucks, between aerials, tankers, you name it. Yeah, so huge undertaking. I know I took a hit for it, the paper for, basically wiping out the county, but there were
those guys were
7
just,
fire departments that were stuck.
they work together like they have been doing it all their lives. That is how organized and how everything went, just one right after another. It was just like clockwork for them. They did a fantastic
Yeah,
job.
they did all of, and then some of the guys were saying like, oh, well, okay, my name is so and so and so and so. So nice to meet you. And they were all firemen that never worked together before. Whatever it was down pat, just like they were working together for years. Every one of them did a really good job.
Thank you.
Kudos to
Yeah,
all of
thank
them.
you very much. All of them. They're good.
And just for future reference, in the interest of cutting off rumors before they start, as you can tell, Scott's always happy to talk about these things, so
Yes.
reach out anytime.
It was, no, they did, and they were, even though they never worked, worked together. You thought would work together for like years, and that was the first time they said that all of them was like together and doing the same thing and helping out. That, they
Yeah.
really did, they need a lot of credit, a lot of thanks.
Agreed.
They deserve it,
Yeah.
all of them.
The tankers were in and out, one right
Yeah.
after another, in, out, in and out, in and out, just like they've been doing it for years.
All right,
They are that good.
sir, do you have anything in the back? Are you with them? Okay. Oh, okay. Came along.
I did get stuck over by the fire for about 4 hours, because I was coming home from Walmart, and they killed it. That could have been so bad.
Yeah.
They could have taken out the whole block.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they said they were glad it wasn't windy like it was the day before, or That whole block been going,
Yeah,
and there's nothing, nobody could have did from the wind,
yeah.
and the way it was.
Well, we're all very thankful.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
very.
are thankful and
And very
grateful.
grateful, yeah.
Yeah, so all of them did a really, really good job.
I'll throw my kudos out right now before we get to my report. Thanks to Chief Bozzy and his crew, seriously, because as I was focusing on where things were gonna go, his crew was actually making sure that people were out of the residence and
Oh,
they were
that's
taking,
good.
they were
That's
taking care of
great.
that portion
Thank
of it.
you.
All right, thank you, lady.
All right.
All right, Mr. Burrows.
Yeah, yeah.
Good evening, I'm Brian Warowski, I'm not a resident of town, have a business in town. Have vested interest in people that's involved in the pickleball courts. I'm one of the, donators, but more importantly, I'm here to ask if we can, the pickleball slash, parking lot, if we can take a look at that. There's nobody came tonight, it was a little short notice, I couldn't get them here, but I had them text me, people that are supporting pickleball and playing pickleball. We're all saying, and even the community, not just pickleball players, but why not just open the courts up and let us play on them or let people play on them? Sure, there's some deficiencies there, but it's water over the dam. And, for the town to get into a fight, lawsuits with other people over, little minuscule stuff, I don't think it's worth it to the town or anything else, because it's just gonna lay there and get worse. So you might as well let the communities enjoy it. You guys picked the spot down Streeter Field. Is it the best spot? Probably the best spot in Bloomsburg. You're out of the area, you're not gonna have a noise issue, you shouldn't have a noise issue, there's nobody around. It's dusk to dawn, it's closed. And, I just say, let's open the gates and let us play. I'm under the understanding that, all the contractors have been paid or gonna be paid shortly. Let's move on. And if there's any deficiencies that are small that they can correct, let them do them. And let's move on. Let's get it open so the community can enjoy it and move on. That's, again, great job. Sure, there's deficiencies. It's not gonna be, we're not gonna have PPV events there, but, let the community enjoy it. Between Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Danville, we have an app that everybody's on that goes plays pickleball. There's anywhere from 150 to 400 in each individual area. That we, make a date to play pickleball. So there's a lot of interest. It's not just, 20 people. There's, a lot of those are duplicates that are on there, but I'd say there's a good 250 people on just those 4 areas, that are ready to enjoy, what you guys provided for us and the rest of the community. And, I want to recommend to the council to take a look at it and take a vote and let's move on. You guys don't want to get into another litigation. That's, it's crazy. Where it's going to head. It's just going to be more money. And they're there. Let's use them. Any questions?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there anyone else? Anyone online? Liz?
Want to request a speed study on Millville, down by Chrysler's. I know the speed limit is 35 and I realize that a speed study might not change the speed limit, but people go way too fast. Me personally, biking as an adult, I wear my helmet. I try to follow the laws as best as I can. In the last 2 days, I've seen 3 kids biking on Millville Road with which scared the shit out of me, and I don't have kids, and I'm just like, why are you in the middle of the street? People drive way too fast on this. It might just be that they're working on Summit Avenue, which, I'm not trying to complain about that. I'm very happy that work is ongoing. My neighbor has been talking to them, and they've been very courteous of us as residents, and trying to make sure that they're not in our way, trying to make sure we're not in their way. And at the same time, we don't have sidewalks down there. So I do acknowledge that there really isn't another place for them to bike. But it's just very unsafe with how fast cars go. So a speed study to verify that 35 is what the speed limit should actually be, and then kind of slow down. Because people drive 45, 50 miles an hour coming in from Buckhorn and don't care that the speed limit drops to 35 and then me on the bike doing like 28 miles an hour kind of thing, cause it's downhill. And then also me getting honked out on my bike for existing. When there's literally no other way for me to get to town.
I can put the speed trailer out there once it's done up on Glen Avenue to see if there's, what the speed is there, what the most common speed is. I'll talk to the owners of the garage and see if I can put it in the lot.
You want it though coming up over the hill back into Bloomsburg. So not at Cressler's before.
I mean,
before
either
that.
way, people still drive too fast there, so like.
There's a
when
little
I'm coming
limited
up that
space
hill-
there.
I know,
Um,
that's the problem.
To be, we talked about putting it out there before, but there's very limited space there on the berm to where the trailer would actually fit and not cause a hazard.
Right.
You gotta be able to see where you're going there over the hill.
The bus stop was the last time. I seen
Yeah,
it.
the last time, and they asked for it out there, it's just someplace that we can put it right there. It's either gonna be down at the bottom of the hill, going towards Hemlock Township, or it's gonna be up past where we can safely put it for everybody that travels that route.
Partner with Baptist Church, maybe we could get a radar detector on their side.
So,
Holy smokes,
That'd be the song.
all right, anyone else?
Can I add to my story, please?
Yeah.
I did talk to quite a few of the donors for the pickleball, and pretty much everybody that I talked, or everybody that I did talk to is in agreement. You know, let's just do it. They didn't want to make a parking lot. They donated to move pickleball and just let it happen. I can't speak, I seen or heard a lot about the end. I can't speak for them. I didn't talk to any of them. But, you know, the rest, I talked to several of them, and let's just move forward. I just wanted to add that.
Yeah,
to
we've
it.
been in touch with the Danville folks, and I think what we haven't heard from is some of the local ones specifically, but they've all, you know, we can contact them through the Town Park Improvement Association too, so.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
If there's
you know,
an
I'm pretty-
interest and they wanna reach out to us, or we can, you know, we're working on a letter here to send out as well, so we can work on the verbiage of that, because we wanna find out what people wanna do with their money either way, so.
Right,
It might be an opportunity to get some feedback on that.
sure.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it, yep. Okay. On to the agenda. First item is approval of the council minutes from the May 11, 2026 meeting.
So no.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Are there any additions or subtractions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Is that now?
Yeah, present.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
That's okay. On department reports, please.
you guys have everything that's in the book there. Calls are up just a little bit from last year, nothing major. All across the board, and you'll see, ticketing when you get to the parking report, I might as well cover that. It's gonna be down a little bit, but we've been without a parking enforcement for a little while, and it just started back up. So everything's kind of par for the course for this time of year.
What's the timeline for, are we making any adjustments to the ordinance about the scooters?
I think that's on here later on.
All right.
I have a quick question, since you mentioned scooters, is there a certain ordinance about e-bikes?
There's
State
no,
law.
there's state law, there's no ordinance that's directly, we do have a bicycle ordinance and it talks about, e-bikes. And it actually has some penalties within there too, as far as whether or not we can take it, but they fall right under the bicycle ordinance.
Oh.
And the law.
Any questions? Okay. Any questions on the police report? Where are we at with juvenile?
Talking to the DA about it, setting up a meeting.
Okay.
We're still having some issues with some of the normal juveniles, and some of them we're working on it,
Okay,
work in progress, I guess.
all right. Any questions? Thank you. Next, recycling, Charlie.
In your packets, your monthly summary, and that's where we are each month, and lead on, materials and collecting shifts, and it's styrofoam, this is, still the first year. 30 boxes in a month and 128 year to date. We don't weigh them because it's a late material, so we count by box. Yeah, Yeah, but, yeah, you don't get very heavyweight to get your phone.
Yeah,
So I give you a box, you know.
but that's been going well, that's relatively good.
Yeah, it's going really well, like that, moving it out to where the public can see it, that's supposed to in our processing room. Still athletes, people, no cage or Snickers, but it's been mostly the right problem, and everything, so after the passers to our vendor, or big two, or that they picked it up from us. So, yeah, it's been a benefit all around.
All right,
And I did submit our equipment grant to that on last month, the grant, hopefully we'll hear from the state and start the purchases and get some things upgraded. And the performance grant, which is based on tonnage, it's been submitted as well, which again, is really good back in. Solar is back underway down at the center, solar was back on site today to try and do the next roof and a half to finish up at our facility, to do that tie-in, mounting panels and on the side of the building stuff yet to come, and then inside, Brady will probably speak to this, but they got LED sectors throughout the 55 row changed over inside their recycling facility, very bright. And very nicely done, and I'll let Brady explain more on that.
all right.
Are there any plans to make that curbside pickup, or is that still just the phone
No, phone will be a drop off on the
forever?
forever.
Unless I'm buying a truck.
No, okay.
Awfully big fan for not,
Yeah.
wait. Okay, any other questions for Charlie? Thank you. Next, the airport, Dan.
Yeah, I should have a report there. Yeah, it was about right at time. Things are going well. No issues. Decided to have a giveaway free fuel day. I went well.
But
Things are going well.
Gonna have to roll that one back.
They're listening.
We just did get had to get a fresh load of fuel, 8,500 gallon. Our current price is at $6.30, but we are very competitive. And actually, that's a bit of a bumped price,
Okay,
above our normal, just because I was able to buy it at I watch oil prices every day, and you gotta watch the trends. And our previous load, we were able to take about 7,000 gallon of the last 8,500 gallon. And we had an extra about 55 cents across the board extra. And I wanted to hold that in reserve, it equated to almost $4,000. And excess, this load, if I maintain the extra spread, it'll give us almost another $2,000. But we want to keep that for if we get caught with a high load and we have to discount our fuel to get rid of it, because we can't have old fuel sitting. So that was the purpose of pumping it. I had a lot of traffic in, as you can see, the month of May. We got 100% increase in fuel. So we went through a lot of fuel, mainly because we had a good price, and I kept pumping the price to try to curb that, to make it worth our while. Because we just had a lot of traffic. So wanted to remain competitive, yet build us a buffer if we get caught with a heavy load, an expensive load. Other than that, had TSA was back in this quarter, this month. Just checking our airport security. You might say, why is TSA bothering a little airport like us? Because a little airport like us, with no fence, no nothing, anybody can jump in a little airplane, fly to a big airport, and then have access to big airplanes. So it's important that us little airports have security. And the only nick we got on the TSA report was we are not fenced in. So explain the reason we're not fenced in, he understood it. So it's been like this for 100 years, and just the way it is. And so that would be the only thing going against us. If we could ever get a fence someday, that would make TSA give them the warm fuzzies. But it is a potential hazard. We think about it, hangar's not locked. Most keys are left in airplanes. Somebody's scarce ones lands at LaGuardia. It's access to a big plane. It's a problem.
I'll go to Florida next week.
Yeah. Also had a Newport planner was in, works. I have his business card. He works for somebody airport planning. At the same time, PPNL was there. They're gonna be changing some poles around us, asked about lighting. Should we bury wires? Can we lower wires? Can we raise wires? So all that's taken care of. So the crew car, the second crew car has been out. Both crew cars have been on the go multiple times, in one day. So got a lot of people coming in, a lot of people are going uptown. Had a couple people come in and actually ended up carpooling because they ran out of cars. And they were both going to Geisinger to visit sick people. So they used our car to go do that, so. Yeah, things are plugging away quite well.
Very cool.
Did have a turtle on the runway the other day. A big sucker. I kicked him off and wasn't happy. He would cause damage. And we do have 3 fox living at the end of the runway, and they have 2 7. So that's always interesting.
Are they some little babies? Or have they
They're
got
about
bigger?
mid-size. They're gonna get dead if they run across the road.
Are the black ops things just coming and sort of, I mean, it's not like touch and goes, do they just fly in low and then take off, or?
They do the weirdest thing, and they fly down the river way low. I saw them the other day, they were 100 foot off the river. It's like, man, you get south of us a little bit, there's wires across the river.
Saw a medic
They're
one
not
yesterday.
What's that?
Yeah, there's some
There
coming
was a
in real
medic
low
one
as well.
yesterday.
Yeah, they do a lot of training, and you can't track them because they turn off their ADSB, so. Can't track them, but yeah, they do that.
Okay.
Just what they do.
I'm gonna watch on Flight Radar.
Okay. Any other questions for the airport? Chief McBride.
Okay.
5 minutes, sir.
For the first- There's a trend, okay? There's a trend here. No, so this last, in May, April, we had a light month, believe it or not. We had the least amount of calls that we've had in probably the last 6 or 8 months, but it was more busy. I mean, we had 6 working fires, we had a couple vehicle collisions, so, less calls, but more intense. We put in a lot more hours, for that month. We did start getting out to some of the facilities, probably a few more to go. Couldn't connect with the towers yet. That's a little unique because they have floor captains. I think they want to make sure that all their floor captains are available when we talk to them and do their drill. So they're great. Floor captains are awesome. But no, if anybody has any questions, I'm trying to field them. I am trying to stay off Facebook, trust me, because I don't want to respond on Facebook. If this gets bad, I'd rather have you show up to the firehouse, we can talk about it, or send me an email or whatever. But listen, there is nothing that we're gonna hide. If you guys want to talk about it, we'll talk about it. So we're about as transparent as tissue paper.
I like your new reports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
There, and actually we found a couple other places that we might inject some other ones. So we got some really good data on 2 other databases that we might actually inject some of those, pull some of these out because they might be a little bit better analytically. So
Oh, good.
this year's a trial year with the new system and a couple other ones that we found. So if anybody has anything, I'm gonna be done talking now.
Maybe we should enjoy it.
I already went at it.
It killed my time back.
Yeah. We will be doing a boot drive. We normally do 2 extra boot drives. We do 1 at Fair Week. We are trying to coordinate with the concert series in the park. We've selected one of the Wednesday nights that will be out in front of the firehouse. So feel free to stop by. We have a food truck. We have a food truck event coming up on the 25th. In the parking lot back. Other than that, the doors are open. Stop by. Oh, we did get a huge response from water. I mean, you can stop bringing water to the firehouse. Seriously, because like we got 25 or 30 cases of water, which is That's pretty good, yeah, no, and then we had people dropped off liquid IV packs, and so, yeah, we actually were able to restock all the things. And, we could probably help out some of the other departments as far as the rehab units that came in, we could probably restock them as well. So I'll be getting in contact with them, we had Berwick and Danville come in to do the same thing.
All right, any other questions? Hearing none, on to the ambulance. Does anyone here from the ambulance? Their reports in the packet. Okay, Park.
It's, like I said, we were down a little bit on, ticketing just because they were off. There's nobody out, doing parking enforcement at that point. We were only handling complaints. But things are turning around there, so, we got a couple other things in the agenda here to cover a little bit later on.
Okey-dokey. Next item in finance, item A is the recommendation to approve the main list of bills.
I'm going to approve.
And I'll second.
Moved and seconded, any questions? Hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item B is approval of appointing an emergency management coordinator at an annual stipend of $2,500 to be paid on a prorated basis for the remainder of the current year.
So moved.
Second.
Seconded.
So we had one application, Randy Fetterman.
Do you want us to add that to the motion or?
Yes, Garmin, are you good with adding that name?
Yeah.
And Karen?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Ranks what's her official title now?
Law enforcement administrative assistant.
Okay. Great. At the police station, and so she's well aware of how everything works around here. We thank her for stepping up. Let's hope we don't need her too often. In this capacity. All right.
You need everything on there.
Yeah. All right, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Approval to accept the resignation of Wade Burchak from the parking department with his last day of employment being May 15th, 2026.
So moved. Second.
Moved and second. With regrets.
Correct.
How many years did Wade work with us, Charlie?
Or
That's it.
Is that counting the time?
that's not counting the part-time back and forth, but we're hoping he comes back for another.
Okay. Okay. Maybe it's a good guy. Okay. All right, all in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Thank you. Next is approval to hire Megan McHenry, part-time as a parking enforcement officer, at an hourly rate of $20 an hour, pending a successful background investigation.
So moved.
Second. Moved and second.
Good choice. Good choice.
I think she's gonna be a good addition to the parking office.
Right.
So I would
Put it
have,
down.
I'm,
Put it down.
no,
Probably done.
those are outside of town. But yeah, I think she'll do well.
Great. All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item E is approval of the quote for the fountain light replacement cost. Okay. Why do we need to?
I think there was discussions about a donation happening, so we didn't have that on the council agenda.
Is it donations that we're approving? Because I thought we already approved the like, doing we approve?
The last meeting, you guys actually tabled it, so that's why it's on the agenda tonight.
No, we can just nay this one, I guess.
Is it not going to be purchased by the town directly?
No, it's already been purchased by
Okay.
DPI.
So the warranty would be through DBI then?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So we should.
Well, since it was tabled, we have to vote on it again.
Right.
So we can just shoot it down since it's been donated
Yeah,
by
okay.
private individuals. Okay.
Right.
Approval of the quote for fountain light replacement costs, approval to accept donations to the downtown Millersburg.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Next, discussion of the passport online payment. Permits, sorry.
So you guys had mentioned before you wanted to possibly take permits online in the future. I know right now we have everybody lined up when the students come back, they line up and they down the block. It doesn't matter what the weather's like. I know a lot of the students have to drive in from wherever they're coming to college from. So we explored that option. There is, so there is a fee to it. It's $12,000 a year, for the digital software. That's by the company. That's in addition to what we pay Passport already. And then there would be, cost of course, associated with that, that would be passed on to the, user as well. And that would be $15 per permit, additional to whatever the fee is for parking. Whatever the permit fee would be.
Do we have any particular answers yet for when we talked about this prior? Places like law offices that send one person up with the information for 5 people.
No, because from what Pat was telling me is that it would be, each individual that comes in would have to, or get online and have to do each one, so it would be an additional. It seems like it would be an additional cost to each person, when they apply for that permit.
So one person from an office or an apartment couldn't go and get it for
It doesn't
roommates or their employees
It does not sound like it would be able to do that.
because they need individual information
Yep.
for each.
Yes.
And
So when they go online, they would punch in their own information, the registration, proof of where you work or where you live. And then they would go down through it and you have to acknowledge certain things. And if you don't upload the correct information, you go to the back of the line. And then you go to the next, and then you follow the same process.
Do you think that we would run into problems with places that have been accustomed to being able to get?
I think people will be upset because a lot of times, like to your point, they send one person in from a business downtown and get 5 permits. Now they all come in and they do this. But if we switch over, I don't think that's gonna be something that they're gonna be able to do.
Well, they're not sending anybody in, they can do it without.
And do it online.
Yeah,
But I don't think they'll be able to do it by a block. They're not gonna be able to put 5 under one person because it's gonna be registered to different people. From my understanding.
that may or may not be a problem.
It might not. I mean, if it's $15 extra each permit that goes to that business, I would imagine that will be, a problem for somebody that doesn't wanna pay that much more for each permit.
How much is a permit? Varies,
It varies.
an average.
$200
How much do we already pay? A lot,
each.
right? I mean, just if it's full.
It's a ballpark. It's, let me go.
I think we pay about $1,000 a month now, don't we?
We do. It's like $1,200 a month,
How much?
like $1,200 a month,
And then to that, we'd be adding.
Another.
$1,000 a month. Yes. So I sent you guys a packet. I don't know if you had a chance to look down through it or not. It's doable. Like I've talked to, the parking employees downstairs, about whether or not, what we would do is we'd roll it out in the zones first, if it's something that you guys wanted to do. Try to get, residents acclimated to it a little bit and then move into residential permits. I think it'd be really difficult for them to do all at once with learning a new platform, new process. It does sound like it'd be a lot easier to keep track of everything in one space is kind of a nice feature, but it comes at an added cost, and that's really up to you guys whether you want to determine if you want it or not.
Does it seem financially feasible based on how many parking permits you guys sell now? Like, would you recoup that with the parking permits?
$12,000, yeah. I mean, it's gonna cover the 12,000. It's
Plus it saves your resources.
That's the bigger safety.
so that
Administration.
from what they explained to me, there's a little bit of a downfall because they have bigger cities they use LPR, so license plate readers. So there's no sticker, there's no decal that goes to your vehicle. What they do is go down the street and it basically reads, get out, you slap a ticket on it. I have to have another conversation with them just to determine whether or not, maybe they can give us a decal you put in the back window, so maybe we don't have to pay for that LPR service.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Would you order your own decals and give them out? Because like, I would
Potentially.
basically have to buy 2 parking passes if I have 2 vehicles, if I can't swap it back and forth between vehicles.
Potentially, we could probably do that. It would probably be more like a sticker though. I doubt that we would be able to, unless you're gonna come in and pick them up like you do now, and that would be, you know, really, what's the use then? Kind of,
Well, it's still simplify the paperwork.
it would,
Mileage,
every,
whatever.
everything
We
in
only
one
have to
place,
hand out, you know, hang tag to people.
yeah,
We already purchased.
mhm, yes, correct.
We wouldn't have lines, they could come in at their convenience.
Yeah, there would be no lines, it's gonna help with the lines, I mean, the ladies downstairs, for hours, they have a line, just out, well, you guys have all seen it,
Yeah.
out the door.
So then is it gonna be like a Ticketmaster type queue?
Yeah, it's like,
You know what I'm talking about, like release,
you kinda, June first, I don't know what the date is, it's coming up, I just don't know the exact date. June first, you get, you know, it opens up for zone permits, you get on there, you get in the queue and you start filling it out. And then by the time you get down through it, it's like it's in an order, if you finish yours first, you're at the top. And then you just move down through them, there's nobody jumping the list, there's nobody going from 10 to 1, it's just,
Unless they fill something out wrong, in which case you
Then
simply go to the end of the.
you go to the end of the line, so it's gonna be, you know, we'll put out enough advertisement to tell people, residents, what they gotta do. And to do it properly, because you're gonna go from 1 to 100 pretty quick.
How much extra capacity, I mean, I know some, lots fill up pretty fast, depending on where they're at, but others we have capacity, in, right? So
Yeah.
now, with everyone
Yes.
getting the system that we have, there's still leftovers, so in
There's
theory,
still, there's
this
still a lot of
shouldn't really
leftovers,
cause any problems of people not getting where they want.
it should not, it shouldn't cause any issues. Cause it's gonna be almost the same process that we do in person. And, you know, some of the things that we follow now, are gonna be implemented online.
Right.
It's just, now it's gonna be more of like, maybe they would have slowed down and said, okay, just go out to your car and get your information. But once you do it now, you're not gonna have that. You're not gonna be able to say, okay, we're pausing for 20 minutes. Get your information, re-add it. No, you just go to the back of the line.
So I just wanna clarify, because each parking pass,
Hmm.
if you have 2 vehicles and you buy a visitor's pass, I'm gonna pay 45 more bucks.
I don't
Yeah,
believe,
it's better.
I don't believe so. I believe if it's your car, I think it's gonna be right under, like if you're a resident.
Yeah.
It's gonna be different than a zone.
Yeah, I'm
So if you're a resident, I believe if you own that property, you could get the permits. Like you'd be able to get your permit and then you would be able to get your, guest permit.
okay.
We also are in charge of how much we charge.
Yeah.
I can speak from personal experience because I've stood in that line 2 weeks in a row. That process is horrific. I don't know. I can give you a better explanation of it. There's no reason why somebody should have to stand in that line from 6:30 in the morning to get a spot, so you can get a parking spot when they open up at 8 AM. When the weather is 0 degrees out. And there were people in front of me and in back of me that drove 4 hours one way to get their parking permits.
Oh my God.
And
So-
this day and age, to what Matt's saying, I mean, we shouldn't be standing in lines
Yeah.
like that anymore. Not when
It's really antiquated.
driving 4 hours to get, you know, $125 permit. I mean,
Ticket back.
that was back in the day.
Or you got them?
Then you could go to your regular local record store and get in line.
Always.
Yeah,
So they did tell me that they're willing to come in and do, well, not come in, but
yeah.
a presentation to give you a better layout of it and answer more of your questions, because I'm not really looking for an answer tonight. But I thought it was important that we had a discussion on it and see if you even want to entertain the $12,000 fee. They did say that they would recommend like, you don't really want to separate. So if there's a $15 processing fee for online, you're gonna keep the same $15 processing fee in person too. Mainly because if you don't, everybody's just gonna come in person. We're still gonna have the lines.
Not true for everyone. Some people would pay the fee anyway, but
That's,
yes.
it can't be true. Nothing's ever gonna be true for everyone, however.
He kind of answered the question. I was gonna just ask, I don't have to get a permit, but if just listening, if
Mhm.
people could still come in person,
Yeah,
like we still have that option.
so we'll still have, kind of that option, but not like everybody. We try to keep everything online as much as possible to keep everybody in the same order that way.
That would be easier for the businesses. Your lines would be smaller, your individual parkers could do it online. So, but it's just, in my opinion, not a good system now.
It's surely better for the people that are going to college,
Definitely.
you would think. We also generate, I mean, that's where, there's a lot of tickets that come from the on-street parking, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the permits is where we,
Yes. I think the question comes down to is how we figure out what they want, like if we're not. An LPR would be an added fee, like it's not gonna come for the $12,000, obviously. They did not give me the amount on what that would be, and our cars aren't equipped with them. So it'd be something that we would have to find out whether or not, we can get a hang tag.
and
Or,
we do have two outdoor, we use it for.
but it's not set up for ticket, yeah, we have one.
And how much do they?
I think that one was 15,000.
Okay.
100 or 1,000?
But I think,
Yeah, you're good.
I think that was that,
You're good enough these people live.
I'd have to look back and see what if that was a one-time payment of 15,000, or if it was multiple payments,
Right.
I think it was only one.
just one.
Yeah.
Are they coming down in price? I mean, everybody needs now.
I was gonna say, what about quantity
No.
discounts, like,
What kind of discounts?
quantity discounts, if you get enough, do you get a cheaper price?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, just checking.
Okay. I just saw the other day too, my in-laws live in Fort Myers and they actually have permits for municipal parking. That you can only park in municipal lots if you have a permit. And people buy it from out of town because of going to the beach and stuff like that, but they're not even messing around with hours in most of the lots anymore. That's wild. Not sure we're that much of a tourist man.
I don't think we are.
Hey, I think those.
She's working on it. Okay.
The Blue Beach in there.
Yeah.
Do we wanna add this for the admin finance then next time we can bat around a little more?
That could make it.
Okay. Next is discussion of part 2, self-propelled devices. That's why I missed that, okay.
So we're looking to, just to make some minor changes, it's under the, pedicycles. Under the ordinances, chapter 3, under bicycles, it talks about the self-propelled devices and the definition there, could be. It could be like a scooter, roller skates, roller blades, but it goes on, but we're looking to change some of the language, maybe, towards the violations and penalties. And have it look more like, the part 1 of the ordinance. So what we would do is we'd be able to confiscate it on their first offense. Like if somebody's riding a scooter, which they're illegal to ride on the road anyway, but however, kids are doing it. And they're all over Main Street, they're all over areas where it's very dangerous and we're trying to get a handle on it. Yeah, and well, and they shouldn't be on the road, but there's just so many of them. This ordinance would be, the little bit of the changes will be. I haven't seen those on Main Street, but,
Seriously, he's running.
I seen him up here on Red one day. He blew right around the car, and I know who you're talking about.
There's, we don't know whether they're of age or not,
I
but
don't
yeah,
think
there's
they are.
somebody who's hauling around
He's
on
very young.
a lawn tractor.
okay, we'll look into that. Okay,
Does it have a mirror?
You should
One
definitely.
This has gotten a lot of attention and it does bring up.
the scooters or the
Yeah,
tractor?
the scooters.
Tractor's heroes just made.
No.
The scooters, the tractors are another thing. But we do have all these kids that like, most of them are, I mean, well, first of all, a lot of them don't have helmets on, which is concerning, but.
Yeah.
I see the majority of them are, while they're riding in the street, are not necessarily being malicious as much as some others, but
They're not, however, they're obstructing traffic, they're causing a safety hazard on Main Street. We've had a couple, not just we're talking e-bikes too, e-bikes are dangerous. Nobody has their safety, equipment on.
They don't-
It's a
they
mess,
don't
but right
follow-
now, we're trying to get a handle on some of these scooters. Until the law really catches up on whether or not, right now they're just illegal, you can't ride them on the road, they're private only. Have it on your private property, no matter what age. Yes. So, but we're looking to see if they get up on Main Street, if they get up on East Street, the areas where they're really causing issues. We're just gonna confiscate them, fine them, take them, at first, keep them for, like, I think I put in here 15 days.
My point is, that's what I'm motivated about, is that like, they have proliferated. And they are using them as their means of transportation.
So I only worked a half day Friday and I got out early Friday and they were all filing down towards the pool.
Mhm.
And I can't even tell you how many I saw just breezing right through my stop sign.
Right.
And there are multiples riding on the bikes and the scooters, like
Yeah.
it wasn't just one kid on a scooter, it was multiples on a scooter. So it was a little scary. I was like, ooh, but I can't call it, like by the time I would call, they'd be gone.
Right,
That's the problem.
yeah, they're at the pool,
They're
they're
at the
quick.
pool and you're
And
never gonna find
To
them.
Justin's points with this video, he was at the school and there's several e-bikes, the electric scooters.
Yeah.
So do you guys have any appetite to where you wanna change this ordinance a little bit, or do you?
Yeah, I think, yes, I would like to look at that.
You mean edits to what you're proposing?
Some of the edits, I was talking to Matt a little bit and, we might wanna try to keep it a little bit more similar to, part one. To where we can confiscate for 90 days. Instead of, I think the second offense I put in here, for 30 days.
Be part of A.
Yes, well, part A would stay like 15 days. Part B, I think I put in there for 30 days for second offense.
Okay. So. 15 days and $25 to 30 days, 50.
Where would they be held? Cause if they have batteries, there's the whole fire.
Outside our police station. Or down at our impound.
All right, well, I think we can step in the right direction anyway.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know what SMV emblems are? Triangles?
Yes,
Get on the tractor. Every piece of farm equipment, tractor, anything has to have an SMV emblem to be on the road. These ladies will nail you, they used to nail farmers all the time on that.
I haven't seen this tractor yet.
This is like a lawnmower.
It's a lawn,
Yeah.
it's like a little riding tractor, like a riding lawnmower.
Yeah, still, it's not having an
Yeah.
SMV. Anything that comes out of our, they usually put an SMV. Has to. So you can, that's a good reason to pull him over anyway.
Just being on the roadway.
He synced it up. Not running.
I will say he's not obeying traffic laws.
No,
though.
he's not.
No, he came down, when I seen him for the first time, he was by the pool. And actually, I know who it was, who he actually went around, went through the stop sign and continued to go down the street.
Yeah.
Like he didn't care that there were even cars around. We stopped and waited for him to do what he was doing.
Okay, so do we need to make a motion to put this out for advertisement, or is this something that we can change by?
Oh, I don't even think we've gotten that far. We're gonna have to look at his proposed changes and then you're gonna have to draft an amendment to the ordinance, then you can advertise. So right now, I think it's just the stage where.
Okay, can we have that done for the next
changes.
meeting based upon what we're?
Yep,
submitting here?
I'll send them to Matt tomorrow.
Can I have a motion then to submit the revisions as presented?
But motion to submit as presented, yes.
Second.
Right, moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Item C is a recommendation from civil service to extend the sergeant list for additional year.
I'll move to approve.
I do. Moved and seconded. Any questions? Any explanation?
We have a current sergeant's list. We'll have an opening vacancy coming up in the next few months.
All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Recommendation from the civil service to acknowledge the list that the commission certified.
Second.
And seconded, any questions or discussion? Anyone at you?
No, I think that one speaks for itself.
Okay. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item E is approval to conditionally hire 2 candidates from the certified eligibility list, Levi McWilliams and, is it Graham?
Yeah, Brian, I think you good.
Brian, that's how they're saying that? Okay. In accordance with the applicable contract terms and contingent upon the successful completion of all civil service requirements and regulations.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions?
We're gonna try your best. What's that thing?
I already couldn't get the first one. Looks like Sumac.
This is,
Yeah.
this will be just a conditional offer of employment, and they still have to follow through with all the civil service guidelines.
Right. Okay. All in favor, please say aye. Those. You. Next is recycling, Ms. Jordan.
Item A, recognition to Linda Dietrichson of Millville for $100 donation to the recycling center.
Thanks for it.
Yeah, thank you, Linda. Okay.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Item B, approval of Responsible Recycling Services LLC for August 21st, 2027 for electronic recycling event.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
You gotta book these that far out.
Yeah, I do, because I do the calendar.
Oh,
Right.
Really trying to get everything published there, aren't you?
Yes, yeah, the one coming up for this year is, in October.
Okay,
October 17th of
And that's a
2026 is when I already booked.
Yep.
This is so I can get it in the calendar.
gotcha. All right. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? You.
Item C, approval of a quote from BE Equipment in the amount of $2,400 for the baler safety switch repair.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions?
This was found when they were doing all the other major work. There's a safety switch that, the wires were worn and would trigger it. It's something that needs done at whatever time I bring it for it, because obviously I was over budget from the longer term expenses, but it was found during that maintenance. That was just a email quote saying, hey, we made that done for $2,400. So I'm bringing it before council just to knock it out and get that safety switch on in operation.
Any other questions? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Thank you. Next is Park and Pool. Ms. Pressler.
Item A, recognition of Barbara Azern helped for donating a park bench for $850 to the town park. Thanks, Barbara.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you. Thanks. Item B, approval to have a TV display sign at the pool provided through the Friends of the Pool and donations made possible by Rotary and Justin Hummel. A, items to advertise remaining funding goals for the Friends of the Pool, community events like Town Park Concert Series, Kiwanis Day Camp, dance signups, weekend movies, downtown, etc.
So moved.
Second.
Seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Right, I'll abstain. Thank you. And I think you got that up today?
Yes.
Cool, thank you.
Nice.
Look forward to checking it out.
Yeah.
Okay. Next is codes, Norman.
Recommendation from the Historical Architecture Review Board to approve the application for the name Cleve Hummel. That I spoke perfectly, is that how you say it?
Please.
Yeah, thanks. 20 East Fifth Street. Sorry.
Any motion?
I'll move to approve. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I'll abstain.
Approval of releasing the remaining escrow for the Steve Shannon Automotive Tire Repair Shop building in the amount of $30,715.35.
So moved.
Second.
I don't know what it's about. Is that for the one on one in town by Cressers in Millville for the like rim or for down? Can you tell me more?
Yeah, so this was through the planning commission.
Okay.
And it was through the land development, so when the project is finalized, there's still basically a punch list of items to go through. And at this time, basically our engineer through planning is saying that everything has been satisfied. It was the tire addition down on Millville Road.
Okay, so down by 80.
Yeah, the funds are not held by the town, it is held through a bank, so this is basically to say the financial security can be given back out. The deadline to have all the items completed was in August, so they met the financial and also the deadline on it.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next is, project committee, Scott.
Approval of a release and license agreement with Libbix Civil. As the basketball courts, and approval of invoices associated with the project. So moved. I'll second.
And second. Okay. Did you shout out an email you right before the meeting? Well.
If we still don't have a signed agreement, but we'll wait for that and then we'll proceed forward, depending on the vote here this evening.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
And. Approval of payment to Stair Pavement Incorporated for application 1 and 2 in the amount of $197,315.52. Second.
Moved and seconded.
I took a drive by, it looks very nice. Drive through, I guess.
Yeah.
Drive through the whole thing. Very nice.
Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Thank you for your work, Mr. Sarah.
Yeah.
Is that where?
Feel free to go to Clover and it's.
Oh.
Down on the left side of Millville Road.
This is when they check the board. Way Avenue from
No,
15 extension.
no, they're still working on that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what they're working on now. No, this is clearing up another escrow that we had laying around with this. Yeah. Okay, I see.
Approval of payment to ARC for pay application 3 in the amount of $174,600. So moved.
Second. Seconded, any questions? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Thank you.
And approval of payment to Sunpost for pay applications 3 and 4 in the amounts of $421,042.36 and $107,822.84. All those approved.
Moved and seconded. And this is from the Rescue Act, correct?
Correct.
Last thing. All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next is old business, approval of payment to Robert C. Young, contingent upon the execution of final release agreement and submission of all required closeout documentation.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any questions? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Thank you. Item B is approval of a time extension for change order 3.
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Ayes have it. Okay. Okay, our next meeting will be June 22nd, 2026. We're gonna adjourn to executive session here real quick, and then we will be coming back to vote on this possible approval of hiring more part-time parking for the office. Is there any questions before we? Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn to executive session?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you.